Hey guys, I'm Risha.
I'm Ibrahim.
And we're the Mandinka Family. And today we have an awesome person to talk about mental health with today. May is Mental Health Month. So we're going to be asking some questions involving mental health in the Gambia. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You be my queen, you be my screensaver. I be a king, no be cinema. Diamond, mineral, situation critical. You be my queen, you be my screensaver. I be a king, no be cinema. Diamond, mineral, situation critical. Sun kiss your body, glitter, glitter.
All right, guys. So as we mentioned, we have someone special here today. If you can go ahead and introduce yourself and where you're from and what you do.
Thank you very much for giving me this platform. Good evening, viewers and listeners out there. My name is Basiru Sanneh. By profession, I'm a public health officer and a social worker, but also I advocate mental health in the Gambia. So I work for an organization called Peace of Mind. Peace of Mind is an organization established in 2018 with the aim of providing services to the most vulnerable people, especially those who are suffering with psychological issues, individuals, families, and institutions. So we provide a lot of capacity building and real services like psychotherapy and professional counseling, and also we give a lot of capacity building to other institutions and other people that are interested in our work.
Okay, that's really nice. So what do you do as a social worker? Because I know like in the West, social workers can do different types of things. So what do you do specifically?
In the office, basically depending on the case, I help the psychologists, especially in the assessment. I will be there in the assessment of cases, so that also we won't leave anything behind. I can also look at from the social work perspective to understand, and maybe this is coming from the family perspective or the society and so on, of which the psychology can do that alone. But of course, with the help of the social worker, we'll be able to gather so many things, information regarding what might be the cause of the person's distress. Yes.
Awesome.
And also, yes, in some cases that might need home visit, we do engage the families, and we do visit the families also to try to find out more information about what's going on, but also kind of coordinate the interns that are coming into the organization, also helping the communication and running other transactions for the organization as a social worker.
So how many, in Gambia, how would you say, how many social workers are there in Gambia? Are there a lot of them that reach maybe the other side of the river?
Yes, and the social work in the Gambia is up to a diploma level. We don't have the degree of it. So you just do up to the diploma level, and then you become an assistant social worker. We have an association of social workers, and they will be able to tell how many social workers are in the country across the country. But in terms of the distribution of social workers across the Gambia, I think the Ministry of Social Welfare or the Department of Social Welfare is doing great in terms of that, because in every region you go, they make sure that you find at least some few social workers that are providing the services under the government, but also some organization or institution that employ some social worker. Maybe they are not there in the institution as a social worker, but also they will be able to play some role of a social worker in those institutions. Yeah.
Okay.
So any region you go, you find social workers as well.
Okay, like in the Gambia here, we have, like, my wife explained to me that mental illness, you know what I'm saying, is something that is completely different to mental illness and
mental health.
Mental health and mental illness are something that are different.
Yeah.
So can you please kind of explain that to me too, for me to understand? Because I believe that there are lots of Gambians that fail to understand the difference of these two.
Yes. I will first look at the definition of what is mental health, and then from there we can dissect it. When you talk of mental health, they are referring to an individual being able to identify his or her own potentials, be able to cope with the normal stress of life, and also be able to work productively, but also be able to contribute to your own community. When you look at it in diverse, it means that mental health is just more than the absence of mental disorder. So when you talk of mental illnesses, you are talking of the mental disorders, and there are many. So in the Gambia, it is estimated that around 120,000 people are suffering of mental illnesses, and out of these, 90% of them are not accessing services. And you can know that it's only one psychiatric hospital that we have here, which is more focusing on the severe mental health issue. But what about somebody who is just having more stress beyond what he can control? Somebody who is having issues, being able to cope with certain stress. Because in the Gambia, we only look at mental illnesses only among people that are having severe mental illness. And when we talk about that, we mean people that are aggressive, that are on the street, who have thrown their clothes or outside. That's the time they say that this person is having mental illness. Right. But somebody who is not able to manage his or her anger due to certain social issues or economical issues that the person is going through, they may not look at it. Somebody who is in an abusive relationship, they are not seeing that this individual also might develop some mental illnesses. Right. But somebody also who is having some economical problem and then no support system around him, people are not seeing this individual prone to mental illnesses. So we only see mental illness with those people that are already having severe.
Yeah, when it's severe.
When it's severe, that's yes.
In the beginning.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you not think that Gambia here, we should introduce something in the lower schools, lower basic school, primary school levels for people to kind of understand what mental illness or mental health is about?
Like books.
Books and programs.
I definitely agree with you. This is something that if we really want to combat mental illnesses or improve the understanding of people about what mental health is, we need to start it from a grassroots level. And that's why as an organization, we were piloting a kind of a program called emotional intelligence in the schools. And this emotional intelligence, we look at the 4 core areas of emotional intelligence. We look at self-awareness, we look at social awareness, we look at self-regulation and also social regulation. In this case, we help people to understand, okay, if I'm feeling this way, first check around you what it is about me that makes me feel this way. If you think that also there are some contributing factors, what are the causes? Who are the causes? These are the ways also you'll be able to understand and analyze and try to know whether I am at the stage of looking for professional help or even with networking with people that will be able to understand, and also now I can talk freely with them without them judging me, and will improve myself. So that's why when we are talking about mental health at a very basic stage, we introduce what we call the mental health continuum, where the individual will try to understand, okay, when I see these signs, I am in a state of a mental health. However, this is not a guarantee that I will not move to a place where I will start reacting. Right. Okay, like anger bursting and other things. But also from there, if you are not well managed, you may also go to another stage where you may start, in fact, fighting people. So we want people to understand when they are in a good mental state, when they need a family member or somebody they trusted to talk to, and when they think that they can reach out to a mental health advocate, or when they need professional help from the individual. But when you look at the pyramid of mental health, you'll understand that from the society level, we can do a lot, and only a few people might need specialized services. Right. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned there is only one mental health hospital They used to be called Tanka Tanka?
Yeah, yes, it's called Tanka Tanka, and it's under the management of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital.
Okay.
So the hospital is not standing alone. It's under the management of the teaching hospital.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So do you think one hospital is enough for people who are battling with mental illnesses?
When you look at the accessibility, one hospital located in the urban, with the number of cases we have currently in the Gambia, because according to the estimation that was done by the WHO and the Minister of Health, they say about 120,000 people are suffering from mental health. Out of these, 27,000 people are suffering with severe mental health, with only about 3,000 people accessing to services. So, in a nutshell, we can say that the hospital cannot accommodate.
Right.
Cannot accommodate. And it's only accommodating adults. Well, what about the young people? The young people are not catered into the system of mental health.
So has there been talks or something for younger kids? Because it does, a lot of mental illnesses, that we've discovered in the West start from when we are young.
Of course.
So is there a proposed solution for that for the kids? Is there a program that's being created for kids?
I think with the coming of a lot of organizations that are interested in mental health, and also with the ministry opening their doors for people to collaborate and then to talk about mental health, this solution will come to be. But for us as an organization, this is something that we always advocate, and that's why we think that everything can start from the grassroots level if we really want to combat the issue of mental illnesses that we are seeing. But also we should teach children to understand what mental health is, what mental illnesses are, and that people should feel free to walk or seek for help the same way they seek for help when they have physical illnesses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also something that, talking of, grassroots, starting everything from grassroots, like, community development, like for example, if the government can, help the, like the communities to kind of have, like a gathering or a meeting or any form of, message given that, where people could gather and then they could spread the message and try to talk to people about mental health or mental awareness, I would say.
Yeah.
To kind of let people be aware of, these are the signs of mental health, stuff like that. Because here, like, I can be going through, trauma, which can cause mental illness in my life or mental health in my life without me even realizing that.
Yeah.
But if the government can do something like that, do you think it would help the people in the Gambia here?
Very well, and community talks about mental health is something that even today as an organization, this was one of the main topic of our discussion in our team meeting. How we can initiate community mental health talks. These are some of the things that and to be honest, our social media team will, in fact, I don't know whether today or tomorrow, but they will publish something about that. With Peace of Mind as an organization, we are working on starting this thing. Although fund is a challenge, but we will still try to move ahead with that. Because with the little resources that we will gather, and then having committed people, we will be able to start this. Let people have the information. Let them make informed choice. Let them know where the services are. Let them also use the information to protect others and to promote the well-being of people within their own community.
Can a religion cause mental health in someone's life? Say, for example, being a Christian or being a Muslim. Okay, there's something that I want to do, or for example, being a woman or a man, there's something that I want to do. That's what my dreams are. But my religion is depriving me from doing that. Like, do you think that can that cause like mental health illness into someone, or develop stress into someone that could cause mental illness?
We need to separate here between religion and the culture.
You know, sometimes religion,
Yes.
religion
No.
will brought to, like, for example, like I want the conversation to be strict.
Yeah, of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? Like, you know, sometimes religion can be strict. You know what I'm saying? For example, you know, religion deprive you from going to clubs, you know, to chill. Say, for example, you know, say, I want to go out to chill, and then I think somebody tell, like a friend comes to me and tell me, well, you know, your religion don't allow you that. So, and then I sit back and say, oh yeah, man, religion doesn't allow me that. But, you know, like, I want to go, but religion is stopping me from doing that. Can something like that cause?
Yeah, there are so many things that we can attach to the culture and the religion. But when you go deep into the scholars, when the scholars are talking to you, you know that there are so many things that we attach to religion. You will find out that it is more of culture than in fact religion. Okay, there are so many things that they said. Okay, the religion forbid you from doing this, forbid you from doing this. But when you dig deep, you will find out that it's our belief, it's our culture, it's the way our great-grandparents brought us. Pass it to another person, pass it to another generation, and then we want to continue with those kind of life. Let's say, for example, a child should not eat eggs. Or a school-going child should not eat the head of a fish. All those things are culturally attached. But they will find a way to attach it maybe to the religion, so that to avoid you from doing certain things. But when you look at it, I'm not trying to defend the religion, but it kind of puts some ways in which it can protect people and guide the society in which people can move in a way that is more harmonious and then protect both men and then the female. Yes, what you said, for instance, when they say a man should not cry,
That's a good one.
you know, it's more of into our culture or our belief or masculinity. We can attach it to it.
Right.
You don't have to cry. When you don't cry, you are bottling up a lot of things. A lot of things. At the end of the day, you will end up busting out. Let's say you can't put so many things in this room. Every day you park it there. Every day you park. At the end, you may not be able to close this door.
Definitely.
So things will start coming out. And when things start coming out, some of them will be maybe stingy or already rotten and so on. So we find all these kind of things. Those beliefs. A man should not cry. Be a man in your house. When you go to your mother and explain certain issues you have with your wife or son, and your mother tell you, be a man in your own house, what is she telling you? God abuse the woman. So you abusing the woman, she lives in those kind of situations. To some extent, she develops some distress or depression.
Do you know, one can be a man in their house without having to be aggressive.
That's it.
Because being a man in your house, thinking logically,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? No, your wife should be the queen of your house, for one. And your wife should be the mother of your house.
Yeah.
So, for one, you know, I wouldn't be aggressive on my mother.
Yes, what I'm trying to say is the question that you asked and how people attach it. Because like we can say that a man should not cry. Where did they base it from? It is from the religion?
No, I would say that
a
would be a
cultural
cultural
thing.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. And then a man should not show certain emotion.
Right.
Some people, when they sit around their family, men, when their family are gathered at one place, the moment they enter, all the children will keep quiet or even they move.
Definitely.
They don't laugh with their children. So in the end, what are you trying to develop? Phobia, fear. Will there be that trust relationship? And if trust is not there, abuses may come in. And this will result into mental illnesses or issues.
Yeah, what you just mentioned is very important because if say for example, if you are my father and then I'm a child to you, and you are aggressive to me, whatever I do, you will beat me or do like some sort of being aggressive on me, like okay, and then say for example I own this book. You said to me, Ibrahim, did you write on this book? I'm gonna say, even I knew that I'm the one that wrote on this book, I'm gonna say no. because why? You are gonna whoop my ass, which is why I would say to you,
Yeah.
no, I'm not the one that wrote in this book. It's like, being aggressive to your kids, it's like,
push them to start lying,
force them to start lying,
denying things. Yeah.
Like, but if you are kind of like, just be free, you know what I'm saying, be loving with your kids, laugh with your kids, but and then they will know, my dad is strict. If it's time for play, we're gonna play, but if it's time for fact and realities, then he's good on that too. So.
Yeah, that's all about setting rules in your house, but of course with the participation of your wife, and also if you have children that can make certain decisions, also engage them in the settings of the rules, and that make the environment very much friendly and conducive for everyone. But just as you said, in one conversation, when somebody said, "But my child all the time lied to me," I said, then the question is, why would the child lie to you?
Right.
Where did he learn about lying?
That's very true.
So that's the question I posed, and then he pondered over it, and he called me in the evening and said that, "No, your question I'm still trying to figure out why my child would lie to me, and where did he learn about lying?"
Right.
He said that question, no, touch him. But probably he'll find his own figure, that answers and so on. Yeah, because you can't push children to a certain extent. We need to be predictable in the way we parent children. We need to be conscious in the way we are parenting our children. We need to know their needs. We need to read from their face, in fact, and try to have a genuine conversation around what is going on.
Right.
Okay, one more question that I want to ask you is, how has colonization affected mental health in the Gambia here?
I may not say specifically about the Gambia because I didn't make any research on that. But when you look at it globally, the acceptance of the people that have done that, they didn't show any remorse. Most of the people didn't show any remorse. Like today, for countries that have done certain things, and then black living around them, the abuses that the blacks still go through their hands, what it reflects them is how their great-grandparents were living.
Right.
It seems as these people are not showing any remorse around this end, what has happened, and that we are not having any genuine conversation around the slavery at all. What happened? We didn't have any genuine conversation.
Right.
And even if it is there, we ourselves, we mentally enslave ourselves.
Yeah.
We didn't open doors to see our ability and capability of doing things right, of changing the scenario without taking the violent way. We need to have that genuine conversation. Otherwise, what has happened in those days will continue to affect the generation to the generation.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, saying that we haven't been able to have those conversations since colonization, and it goes back to like the Africans in the diaspora, like people like myself who grew up in the Americas, and my great grandmother was a slave, and she's an African American psychologist there in America, and she stated that slavery happened 400 years ago, but we haven't had a chance to be counseled. We haven't had therapy, because even though I didn't live during slavery, I didn't exist. The psychological effects have been passed down to me as well, and same with colonization. So the conversation, to have that conversation, that's the most important thing. In psychology, it is the study of the mind, but it's also psychologists and therapists and counselors are there to help talk you through and navigate you through your emotions, so you can begin to identify, hey, this is why I feel this way. Some people can't explain why they are angry, and it's because they've subconsciously suppressed so much stuff over the years of their life. So I think that's very important, what you said.
Yeah, the conversation, I don't know whether you are aware about the Black mental health movement.
Oh no, tell us about it, please.
The Black mental health movement is a movement about the blacks across the world, And we have a lot of Black Americans down there, and I was one of the panelists in the World Mental Health Day.
Okay.
And in fact, the guy who moderates, he lives in the US, but I will not tag you in that Black mental health movement so that you will also follow them on Facebook and so on, and then probably you can be a member, because it helps a lot, because we have a lot of our members in the US. And as we speak, the first African Mental Health Congress is holding today in Ghana, of which Peace of Mind is also contributing. Although many people or many organizations did not come, we can understand, yes, this is the first time of it. So we as an organization, we are participating virtually to this to this African Mental Health Organization. The aim is, of course, to encourage government to look the funding around mental health and how we can improve the services around mental health. So there are so many things that are popping up, and then we believe we will one day be there.
That's beautiful. I love to hear that. I didn't know about that. So once you send me that information, I'm gonna post it on the screen here. And Black mental health is very important, because we do need a lot of Black psychologists. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dr. Umar, but there's him. There's Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. These are Black Americans who they have like PhDs in psychology, and they have did extensive studying specifically for people of African descent in the study of their mind, because we have, as a whole, as a people, African people, we have been through a lot of trauma. It is good to have African descent psychologists, because they can better explain the traumas that we need to undo or unpack within ourselves. So that's awesome. I did not know that. Thank you. I
will tag you on that, and then you will follow. We have a WhatsApp page where we will contribute certain things, and in fact, the events that are taking place on Facebook or other platforms, social media platforms. So a lot of things are going on. Yes.
Now, one thing I did learn from just having the conversation about mental health with my husband is that if someone Africans, period, we have big families, right?
Of course.
So if there's someone in the family who has a severe mental illness or some form of mental health issues, the family sometimes looks at them differently, kind of outcast them. Why is that? Because that's something that Black American, or just diasporans, but I do see Black Americans do that a lot as well. We'll be like, oh, he's crazy, don't talk to him, don't listen to him. So why do you think that is?
I think it all stems to not validating people's feelings and people's way of seeing things. When we do that, we're not helping the situation, because somebody might be going through certain things and then started behaving that way. Instead of us trying to find out why the individual is started behaving this way, we either label the individual as being rude or seeking for attention or so. So we don't take them seriously. And in the end, when they develop these severe mental health problems, we tend to sideline them because of the stigma. Because of the stigma, we don't want any other outsiders to relate that our family is having this kind of illnesses. And some people also might link it to the devil, the work of the devil, or the work of the devil and other things. So, of course, nobody wants to have a devil in your house. So these are some of the issues
that's another cultural thing.
Yes, it's another cultural belief. So they don't see that this is a mental health illness or a mental illness that can be improved or get better now with the help of a professional and so on.
Okay, talking of spiritual stuff, when I was growing up, there used to be a man named Cisse who treats people with mental health. I would say those that are really aggressive.
Yeah.
Do you believe that those systems should be abolished, or should the government leave and those people to treat people with mental illness or mental health, something like that?
Yes, in treating people, no matter what their mental condition is, they are human beings and they are entitled to rights. They have rights.
But should the government Because in some cases, people would be like, no, like he doesn't have experience in this. How comes he would be doing this?
Yes, I think I'm coming to your question.
Okay.
So I just want to outline that every individual you see, no matter his or her condition, at a given time, the person is still a human being.
Yeah.
And the person is entitled to rights.
Right.
All the rights must be given to him. And also they should be given treatment, but not treatment that should be also degrade their dignity and so on. So chaining somebody at one place or beating the individual, well, I don't know from where they pick it, but from a professional, from our point of view, we will want to collaborate with these people, share ideas, so that we can see how also they can kind of eradicate this slowly, and then we all look at from a different point of view. When a person comes to you, you can say, okay, this is what I can do, and not to include the beating, but also you can consult another person from another area, let's say like the psychiatric or a psychologist, to see how both of us can work. Because this is the way also we can help them understand that some people, it's not only about the devil. It's not the devil.
Yeah.
They are mentally ill, and they need to be treated either with drug or with counseling or with psychotherapy. This will help.
Yeah.
But once they believe that this is a devil, they will beat the individual. Sometimes you see that their body, they will all be they're bleeding and so on.
In some cases, like there's a guy. I remember the guy who keeps yelling when we're on the phone,
Yeah.
He keep yelling. Okay, but if the guy, if we happen to give him like, the opportunity or chance to come sit with us, eat with us, play games with us, he will be conscious. But if we started saying, hey, no, don't come here, like at the end you started seeing the person like, yelling at night, yelling all the time. But I believe if we can stop as African here, the concept we have where if someone started having small issues, we will not try to associate with them. We will try to move them away from us. But by helping them,
embracing
them, would help, with them, getting better.
Yes, and that's why it's very important for us to improve this effective communication at family level.
Yeah.
Let's build that trust. Let's engage our family members. In this way, they will feel free to tell you what they are going through.
Yeah.
And then, in fact, you will have that compassion to help them, to advise, or to link them to where they can get help when it's needed. But once we start seeing ourselves as individuals, then that's where the problem comes.
And Africa here, like the concept that we have, sometimes would be the barrier of us having to understand certain things. Say, for example, you understood many you were educated, you understand mental health and mental illness, you understood these things. But sometimes in our community we be like, the man fell down, he doesn't know anything. You know what I'm saying? But the individual has what he learned or what he understood or the counseling that he can give you. Like me, from the conversation that we're having here, I'm learning and I'm understanding things, many things from mental
I can
health
imagine.
illnesses.
For me, I believe when we don't give people the opportunity or the platform to explain themselves, we will not learn, we will not grow. And then we will be in the position of being judgmental and not even understanding issues. So that's why for us as Peace of Mind, we are currently tasked by the UNFPA to provide mental health and psychosocial support training to all the social workers in the one-stop centers. One-stop centers, these are centers created within the hospitals where people that are suffering with sexual and gender-based violence can walk into and get series of services within that unit without going out to security. So we want to improve also the capacity of the social workers working there and some of the nurses also that they work with in collaboration. And then yes, our first training will be on the 23rd of this month at Combo Beach Hotel. It's going to be residential training. 23rd? Yes, on the 23rd. And maybe you can come around and then see during the opening ceremony. Maybe you can come around also. Yeah. I want to mind also to invite you. So our aim is to make sure that also the service providers they understand what to do at what point and what information to look for a person who comes to seek for the services. Empower that individual with information so that when the individual go back, she or he will use that information also to empower others around them at a very basic level, so that people will know what to do.
Is there any law in the Gambia here that backs the people that have that protect people with mental illness? Or
yes, when you look at the constitution, is very clear with all those things. But also we have the Mental Health Act. But the issue as an organization with the Mental Health Act is the fact that the Mental Health Act has taken it as something that is illegal for somebody who try to commit suicide. We have our reasons. Anybody who try to commit suicide must have explored all other avenues of help. But either people have ignored or the person didn't know where to seek for help.
Right.
Okay? So the person is under pain to the extent that the person, the only thing he see as a way to relieve is to take his or her life. So when we put such kind of laws, every individual that start having this ideation of suicide will make sure that he or she succeed in committing the suicide. Because if he or she fail, he's going to face the law. And now the society also will have to look at that individual. This is the person that wanted to kill himself. This person,
that's interesting that you say
don't have faith in Allah. That person don't have faith. But we knew that.
Yeah,
even God.
My uncle do. He committed suicide.
Really?
This was even during the Ramadan that he committed suicide.
Wow, and that's something new. Like, I didn't know that, suicide is illegal, and it happens so much. Like in America, like it's just so many even recent stories of people that we know of as far as celebrities committing suicide.
Of course.
Yeah, when you attempt to take your own life and you don't succeed, you're gonna go to jail.
Just today, somebody committed suicide at the border there in Jiboro. Just before coming, and I saw it. Somebody committed suicide.
Wow.
After having an argument with his sister-in-law, the man committed suicide by drinking poison. So these are issues that we need to look at. This is a law or a policy that we need to look at again.
Because that's not really, that's not protecting people with mental illness.
Sometimes people just kill themselves for like reasons that they have installed in themselves. Just simple things.
Yeah.
But when they have a counseling from someone, they will kind of
Yeah, you can talk them down and you can help them navigate their emotions.
Of course.
Yeah, like the person that I'm talking of, the only reason he kind of commits suicide is that his son chooses his son is a Muslim, but he chooses to
marry,
take another religion instead of being
he
Muslim,
converted to something
to some other religion, and he's kind of like a well respected man in the community. So his son to be like that, that's the depression that he has been going through for a long time. So one day they just woke up, they bang his door, he wasn't answering. Boom, on the sky.
Wow.
Yeah.
So suicide is something, and when you look at it, it's overwhelming across the globe, because now with around 800,000 people committing suicide across the globe, and around 600,000 are all men.
How often have you seen, besides recently, have you seen other suicides in the Gambia? Any other stories?
Usually I do follow some reliable pages on the social media, and to me this kind of suicide attempt or suicide is in the increase. It's in the increase.
Yeah,
so yes, it's increasing.
About two people that I don't know individually, but that people that I know them have caused have taken their life, because about 6 to 8 months ago. Like they are twins, they were just having conversation, drinking tea. I don't know what was going on to his mind. They say he just got up, went in his house, committed suicide. Just
so
like
you
that.
have heard like different
Several stories and so on. Men tend to succeed in committing suicide than women because of the route that men usually take. For women, usually maybe they may try to drink or something, and when they fall down, people can easily find them and rush them to the hospital, and maybe people can cover them. But for men, the route that they take usually they succeed in committing suicide. Some of them might be aware of these laws, some of them might not be aware of these laws, but as an organization, we believe let's abolish this law and kind of open the conversation and teach them and tell them, give them the information about what is mental health and so on, because they are also going through a lot. For somebody to decide to take his or her life, the person must have gone through a lot.
Something went on.
Yeah.
Now in the West, doctors, they're pretty good about addressing mental health issues. The thing with it is they don't really offer, they'll say, hey, you can go to counseling here, here's a card, here's a person you can go to talk about your issues. But sometimes that particular counselor, psychologist may not be good for you.
Yeah.
They just refer you to someone. However, a lot of doctors in the West tend to prescribe medicine to you to just help you. It basically cuts off the parts of your brain that allows emotion and the ability to think straight properly. So to me, that's masking the issue. That's not really treating it. So are there similar issues here when it's being treated, and are there like medicines here that are offered for mental illness?
Yes. Tanka as a psychiatric hospital is the staff there are mostly psychiatric nurses and psychiatric doctors. I'm not aware of them having a psychotherapist. Even if they have, it must be a visiting one. So peace of mind, we see this gap and then we reach out to them that let us try to work together so that probably from time to time, then maybe every week, we can also assign one psychologist to come and then be with the psychiatrists and then assess cases together. And so that even in the way we discharge them, we will also be able to follow up in the society. As a hospital also, they only have, and I'm only aware of one social worker. How can that social worker also make a lot of follow-ups in the community and so on? This is not to criticize the institution as the hospital as an institution, but we are trying to look at what we think also can be put there, the human capacity, the human resources that should be there to be able also to make follow-ups to help this. Yes, most of the people that go to Tanka are on medication, of which we, as peace of mind, we say some people might need not medication. They need somebody to talk to. Once you take the medication, you are kind of suppressing the feeling. But you didn't take care of the root cause of the problem of the individual. It's only in psychotherapy that you will go through or to the roots of the problem and try to go through these experiences and then bring all those things out. Let the individual cry. Let the person tell you what he or she has done. Open the doors for the individual to make an informed choice as the way he or she thinks is the best way for him to get out of this, and not to dictate them. Every individual knows himself better than any other person. I will just help you to see different doors for you to get out of this problem. And then you choose which one works for you. What works for me might not work for you. So I will not impose things on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, people are on medication, but we believe that even if they should be on medication, we can also take both sides and see where the psychologist and the psychiatric also can agree on when to stop the medication and then continue with this one and so on. We are doing that with some people. So we started what we call home support, using the psychiatric to help people that are having severe issues at home, while peace of mind will provide the psychotherapy or the counseling. So these are all issues that we are looking at. So we've started this home support with the psychiatrists.
Now, I went on the University of Gambia's school website, and I did notice there's a lot of programs which are very much needed. You have like engineering, science, and a whole host of other programs, graduate and undergraduate.
Yeah.
So I noticed that there is not a psychology program. Do you think that hopefully that's something that a new program that could be implemented into the university?
I think even them as an institution, they see the need already, because they have some psychologists that are lecturing there, although not lecturing psychology as a degree program, but part of the modules. Yes, of course, yes, and so on. So of recent also I'm aware that they have a well-being center where students can go and then also discuss certain things. But of recent we are also in touch with the association of the students of the both university, American International University, and also that of the Gambia University, especially those in doing medicine. And they reach out to us so that we can have a conversation or to have a seminar. And then they want to have a seminar with us and to see how best also peace of mind as an institution can assist some of the students that are going through a lot in terms of counseling and other things. So we had that meeting today, fortunately, with their rep. And we are yet to schedule the date. We told her that we will reach out to her and later in the week to schedule the date of the seminar. And we are yet also to decide whether it's going to be on virtual or in person for this. But I think there are things that we are trying to put in place now. Thank God that they are even aware that these are needed. And I'm also very much hopeful for the future of the Gambia, for the fact that it is the medical students also that are coming to reach out to us. These are people, when they know more about mental health, when they are working in the hospital, they will be able to tell the patient, hey, you may not need this pill. You have to go and see this individual.
Yeah.
In that way, we will be able to save a lot of costs.
Yeah.
We'll be able to save also a lot of people taking a lot of drugs. So I'm happy the medical students also are coming with this. Yeah. But also we have an online university that is offering a degree in psychology, and then we have a couple of those students having their interns in our school, our institution. Our peace of mind, yes, it's called an International Open University. So they are doing the degree online.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Now, one of the last official questions we want to ask, do you think that poverty is a major cause of mental health issues or mental illnesses in the Gambia?
It is a factor. It can be a factor because when you are poor, you are not able to meet the needs or the expectations of the society, the expectations of your family. And reasons why many people have sacrificed to take the back way and the journey to Europe for greener pasture. And when these people are deported back because of what they have gone through in the truth, and then also the low level of acceptance from the family, seeing them as people that will never make it in life, people that will be poor forever, has made so many people also depressed or even do something that they have regretted. We've seen some people that came and they are blackout. We've got some referral from some organization in Germany, and currently, even last week, we are in touch with them again. And we've seen IOM also helping a lot of young people. Yeah. Why do they take the back way? Most of them will tell you they are from poor families, or even if they are not from poor families, they are within the family. There are people that made it, are not giving them enough support for them to be able to start something here. So they think that they can also go and then start something on their own. So poverty is pushing people to take risky way. It's pushing people to engage into unhealthy coping mechanism, like the use of drugs that may end up landing them a tanka. So of course, poverty can be a factor.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and speaking with us and educating fellow Gambians and the diasporans around the world about mental health. This is Mental Health Month in the month of May, so this was the perfect conversation to have, and hopefully you guys took something away from it. How can people contact you? They want to reach out, or any organizations that you want to throw out there that can be a resource for them?
Yes, of course. We are on almost all the platforms in social media. On Facebook, we are called POM Gambia, and you can also see us on Twitter, Instagram, and so on. But also you can visit us on our website, www.info@peaceofmindgambia.org. So yeah, we are there, and our numbers are 724-0648 and then 397-9615. These are all our contacts that also you can reach out to us. And also I want to take this opportunity to say that currently we are in Bundung Maternal Hospital every Thursday. But we are basically seeing survivors of sexual and gender-based violence. And when you come there, your costs have been covered already by the UNFPA. So of course we are targeting a number of survivors now. So if you want to benefit from this kind of services, also you can reach out to the numbers that I have just given or visit our website. You can have these services for free.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. How can they reach us?
The Mandinka Family on Facebook, the Mandinka Family on IG, and the Mandinka Family at gmail.com.
So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you we'll see you on the next video. Okay, guys, and as always, don't forget.
Black